Yu-Gi-Oh! The game that thrives most players to go out and basically buy some good cards for any kinds of things they want to put on for their deck. Certain cards that have been budgeting or expensive. Some that are very hard to achieve. Some are easy to get that others cannot even receive. This is the game that actually thrives most players, especially I. Certain kind of decks like these right here are what we want to play. Some that are fun, some that are meta, and some that can be a real pain in the ass to deal with. But that doesn't mean that you quit the game for anything. You do what it takes in order to have fun, work hard, and achieve those skills. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically the game that I actually want to play with for as long as I want to live. What is up, YouTube? This is Fortune Striker, and today I'm going to be showing you these are the cards of what I want to play in decks that, well, in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've been working on for quite a while, basically for a few years that I have been inquiring. Right now, as you can see, those are the cards that are decks that I've been trying to make. Some that you have seen in deck profiles before, some that you haven't. Some ideas that I'm actually trying to acquire. As you know, I've been actually seeing a lot of views a lot lately in one of my deck profiles. Most of them that are being big right now are Genexes and Blackwings. And those are decks I'm actually pretty proud of to see. Especially that a lot of people have really been asking me to do some other kind of decks. Especially today that I received a message from one fan that basically asked that I would do a Morphtronic deck. Unfortunately, I cannot do that, as you see that there were no Morphtronics where I set placed right here on the table. I do not have any of the cards that I require, but if I ever do, I would love to basically make a Morphtronic deck. Or maybe even the Morphtronic Quasar deck. But that's something if I want to actually achieve something like that, or have the mind to come up with good strategies for the deck. Right here, what I have on this table is basically cards that I've been trying to make. Some that you've been dying to see as deck profiles, some have not. Some that I made promises to, some that I have not announced what kind of deck I'm making. I'm actually, unfortunately, missing so many few cards that the deck are always incomplete and will take many months, weeks, days, or years to actually make it. And by the time they do that, some of the cards that be required will be actually either in the ban list, limited, semi-limited, or they'll be actually not that easy to acquire after many years, especially even decades if the game continues that very long, which it will, as long as everyone keeps playing, because this is something I'd rather play more. I'm not going to go out there and play Magic. Come on. Now, why I had to get a little serious in the beginning of the video is reason why is it's the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's what thrives many players to do, especially coming from the anime, which I started all, which everyone does since the early game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was by the time of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician were in the starter decks. Right here, the decks I have are things that I've been trying to make, and some of them are almost done. Some are so incomplete. Some I've been required to maybe think I could make it if I had assistance, but this could take a while. As you tell, I'll explain right now. So let's check it out. All right. So one of the decks I would love to play right now currently is are in the order of how well, not in order, but any deck that you see I'm trying to acquire. They may look like it's big, but as you can tell, the ones that have like more scales looks like they have more efficiency. Of course, most of them are monster spells, traps, and extra decks. For first stars, right now we have the one right here on my right. We have Mermaid Shark, which is being of a shark deck. Now, sharks are basically a fun deck that many people have been building since Shark's been trying to get more boost, especially with the character Shark from the series Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, many people never thought Shark was going to be a good character, which he kind of does, because he overrated so many fucking sharks, so even his name has to be Shark. It was annoying. But the deck itself is pretty much fun, depending on how you want to make it, especially with new supports, as you can see. And the game has been going on so well, I actually want to see what cards I can use or what ideas I can come up with. Now, unfortunately, I have missing a few cards, and I checked out during Dually Network that new support will be coming out soon, but until then, that will be a while, and I really hope those cards come out soon enough, because they actually make the deck more balanced and fun, and could actually do well, maybe in a small tournament or anything. The deck next to it we have is Mega Phantom Beast, as you can tell, because Mega Phantom Beasts are one of the coolest decks I actually want to see to play in the game. It was actually on don't understand how it was at first, but when I played it one time at the Death Pro, it was unbelievable to see a deck that basically changes its level because of the tokens they have and how much efficiency they can give you to go straight for Draco Sack or any other ranked monsters, especially for Synchro since you have the tuner as you see right here, Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line. The third deck, as you see, is actually one of the decks I'm actually working my ass off. Unfortunately, I'm missing a Tour Guide, which kind of backfires, especially a Super Crash Bug. And that's Crash Bugs. Crash Bugs is one hell of a deck that many people have been really blindsided to see, like Mermails. I mean, I'm sorry, not Sharks. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a Mermaid Shark. As you can see right here, Crash Bugs is a really good fun deck. I have taken it once to a tournament, and I went 2-3 with this deck. It was a lot of fun. It was pretty hand work. It was only budgeted, however, but it actually has pride of how well it can be. Unfortunately, as you notice, I do have some of the cards. I'm missing one here, Down Magician. A few other cards are in some decks, and I could acquire some more. Crash Bugs are a fun deck that actually could be useful for the Tour Guide since they're level 3 Fiend type monsters, who basically all they have to do is get cards in the grave, get your big boss monsters off there, and basically just turn the game over to against your opponent. Which is why they're actually more of a troll deck, which you can tell when they're viruses. They're trolls. There's a troll deck apparently. It's because not only they fuck your opponent up, they actually can help you an advantage. Now we have here is Spirit, which means it's a Fire Fist deck, which actually I've been thinking about yes, Fire Fists are actually pretty well achievable. Now I could get the Bears since it's so easy to get, and the Coach Wolf Barks are basically $8. Unfortunately, I will have to save money for other decks and things for that I'm currently going out, especially for mostly Crash Bugs and Mecha Face, which are one of the two decks I'm mostly maining for, as you can see. Next, what we have here is Gem Knights. Now, a lot of people were not much fans of Gem Knights when they first came out of the Hidden Arsenal 5. They were actually finding them as a copycat to Crystal Beats and Elemental Heroes, so guys, come on. But they were actually a fun efficiency, especially getting new supports a lot lately. And they're actually been used in the series as well, which I like because I like how they give supports for any cards and decks, where they basically help the deck itself for fun. I am enjoying this card so much this deck so much. I really hope I can actually play this, so maybe in a tournament one day. Next, what we have is the deck that we've seen before in the deck profile, and that's Ninjas. Now, as you know, Ninjas are pretty cool. They actually have good efficiency. Unfortunately, as you all know, I don't have the White Dragon Ninja or the Super Transformation. And I have basically such a budget, it's really kind of ill to see how this deck proves out. If I buy more Ninjutsu cards, I actually will have a better chance of winning with this deck more often. Or with the Chaos Dragon Merge deck. Now, as you can see, this is a Heretic deck. And Heretics has been actually a pretty good deck. I have tried it out. But with the deck I made in Death Pro, which you actually think is so good, you'd be surprised what's the #1 thing about it. And that's Blue Eyes White Dragon. As you see right here, I'm trying to build a Heretic Blue Eyes. Now, why the heck I'm bringing it is because Heretic Blue Eyes is a deck that actually was building that came up with an idea where I can see how it will work with just running the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's a mostly build fun and battle deck. I've seen it duel so many times. It's still undefeated. It's really amazing what you require. It even got me to do 1 OTK to an opponent, even though he kind of misplayed once. It was really unbelievable. Unfortunately, I don't have the Atoms and the Guys, which are one of the most important cards I had to get, especially the rank H with like Thunderant, Heliopros, and of course Felgrand, which is a lot of people run in many decks. I also like to run a little specialty with like the new Fusion Dragon Monster. I can't remember the name, if you probably will remember. Blue Eyes Ultimate, and of course the 5-headed dragon. Now, why am I running Blue Eyes Ultimate? Because that whole point is that I want to surprise my opponent with anything, just to screw him over. Like, if anything goes wrong, go Blue Eyes Ultimate, running with the Dragon's Mirror. A lot of people will be surprised to see me running a Blue Eyes Ultimate in such a deck like this. They don't even know what's going to happen and basically take their highest attack monster too low. And if anything, if it's stronger than my Blue Eyes or they use an Honest or anything, I always have my own sets of Honest, since now Honest is at 2. Now right here, as you see, is Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, as well as under it, Light Pulsar, and basically under him is basically the Dark Flares, which right here, because you can tell it's the old Chaos Dragon build, which I have not been making for over a year. as you can see. Which a lot of things I'm trying to come up with ideas with the ninjas and with the Lightsworns. However, it's still kind of visualized to have a hard time building. But I'll see what I can do with this deck. Right here we have is the Cyber Dragons, which I made a promise by a year ago that I would try to make a deck profile and try to see if I can create the deck. Unfortunately, I have not bought the structure decks, and I have not given much support and see what I can do, which kind of saddens me, but I really wish Cyber Dragons would get better. I think the one thing we're kind of missing the most is that spell card that has not yet been released to the TCG. I forgot what it's called, but it's something that you use for the Cyber Dragons, and apparently it still has not been released, not even to the Secrets of Eternity. So unfortunately, we don't have the card. I don't know when it will be released. I don't know why it's taking so long, and I really hope it gets here already because I am tired of waiting. So that way the Cyber Dragons get a little bit less support, even though they're not going to be a tier 1 or anything, or maybe a tier 2, but it'd be considered a real good strategies fun deck. Now right here is a deck actually that a lot of people are probably just give me a trade or anything. It's just something maybe I could try build, but it'd be a hard time if I get some of the cards. That's Ojama's. Ojama's a really good deck, as you all know, since we used to have the old Ojama OTK, like with decks like that has like cards that basically have Fitzgerald, Birdman, the raccoons, and anything. As you can tell, since the Ojamas are beast, which kind of looks like weird fiend type creatures, but oh well. So these creatures are so good. They may look weak, but they pack such a huge mental in the game that many people are surprised to see what happens. In this deck, I really hope they get really good support. Which I don't know, which we all know, but probably not. But bring back the old OTKs and anything, be perfect. Especially most of them with the Manilas are yellow, green, and black. Yeah, well, it's mixed up. Oh well. And lastly, what we have is the Lightsworns. Now, the Lightsworns are a deck that I actually wanted to build so badly since the new structure deck came out about around July. Now, unfortunately, I have not bought the third structure deck, and I have not built anything. Otherwise, I would have made my own Lightsworn deck pretty as much as I can with a budget. And, have fun. I do not really wish to make Lightsworn Rulers. That is one deck I despise of. I really despise the Dragon Rulers so much, I cannot withstand anything what they do in the meta, because they're so pain in the ass, apparently. As you know, since Dragon Rulers, when they first came out single-handedly, they wrecked the game and immediately got already hit to the ban list. But yet, surprisingly, Dragon Rulers were hit that quickly more than what the Burning Abyss is. Even when Burning Abyss got only a new Ritual Monster support, which makes the deck way worse to go take on. But I really hope in the next format, that when we hit to the next ban list, we actually hope that they hit the deck really hard. All I'm afraid of is that one thing is that I'm afraid is that when Torghast probably might get hit, it could either get hit to 1 or it could get hit to 0. Which kind of basically wrecks the Crashbug deck I'll be building, meaning that without Torghast, the deck itself would be slow and the deck is nothing. Sadly, I cannot run the deck without Torghast, because without Torghast, the deck is dead. And basically, these are as you see, 11 decks I would love to run and build, but the main ones I would love to mainly go for are Sharks, Mega Fanabeast, Crashbugs, and Heroic Blue Eyes. Now, the reason I picked these 4 here are because they are actually decks I've been trying to run and work for some fun time. And the reason why is that they have such potential for games, even though they're not as big as the meta. They can actually maybe try to change the game around if you can find a way to do it, or just bring the game out and the deck outs and just have a little fun. Just be there to show your opponent what you made of, how hard work you put in this deck, no matter what happens. Even if you're against decks like Burning Abyss, Tellar Knights, Jals, Coldforts, and many more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video right now. Basically, these are decks I've been trying to see. If you really hope to expect me to get these kind of cards, I will say thank you very much. That would be a good support. I will let you know how much I can. Until then, I cannot give you any deck profiles, and so I really hope you do not hope that these come like a little faster. Yes, I don't have that much of money or a budget, but I will give you good news. Officially by next Friday, as you know, the Hero Structure deck will be coming out. I will be going out with my friend Jordan, going out to the card shop at the Raw Game Shop, and basically go ahead and purchase the Hero Structure deck. And I will buy 3 of them. So I will do the opening, and I will later on do a deck profile with all 3 of them. As with that, I will basically give you a fair ado. First, thank you for watching this video. Give us a like, comment, share it to your friends. Subscribe to me if you haven't. Like my Facebook page. And this is Fortress Striker and 11 of his decks. Signing out.